Welcome to Get Your FRQ On. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to solve some law of sines problems using a graphing calculator. Now, for the most part, solving law of sines problems on a graphing calculator really just means you have to understand where your trig functions are, like sine and cosine, specifically sine, since this is law of sines, and how to set up the various equations based on what you know about your triangle. However, once you know that stuff, if you're going to have your calculator solve the problem for you, you do need how to enter the information correctly so that your calculator will give you the answer that it's supposed to. So let's say we have a triangle ABC. The measure of angle A is 40 degrees. The measure of angle C is 110 degrees. And the length of side A, that is the side opposite angle A, is 8. And I need to know the length of side C. Now, using the law of sines, I know that the sine of my 40-degree angle divided by 8 has to equal the sine of my 110-degree angle divided by the length of side C. That's a proportion. If you cross multiply, you can get C equals 8 times the sine of 110 degrees, all divided by the sine of 40 degrees. Right? And if you want to express that exactly, you can do that, but if you're expected to give a decimal answer, you will need a graphing calculator to give this decimal because you probably don't know those things off the top of your head. So here's how you would enter that. Right? My numerator is 8 times the sine of 110. Right? So what I can do is I can group that 8 times the sine of 110 and then divide that by the sine of 140, which is my denominator. And really the lesson here is when you're dealing with rational expressions, you really have to be careful about when and how you use parentheses. For example, I don't actually need the extra pair of parentheses in the numerator here because the numerator is multiplication. It's going to treat it like multiplication regardless. But the moment I throw in like a sum or a difference, then I have to make sure I'm grouping that sum or difference either with the numerator, if it's intended to be with the numerator, or outside the numerator, if it's not supposed to be part of the numerator. So then you would have to be very careful about use of parentheses. In this case, I just need this product divided by this sign, and when I hit enter, I get 11.695. To 3 decimal places, so the length of that side C that I'm interested in would be about 11.695, but you do have to enter in that information in a way where the calculator is going to calculate what you actually want it to calculate and not something else because you didn't really understand what it was you were typing in or how.